Through the papers today, we're joined by the broadcaster Pete Price and the author and broadcaster Emma Wolfe. Good to see you again, guys. Emma, it's your choice first, and it's the story on the front of the Mail on Sunday. The idea that we could be seizing the mansions of the oligarchs to put up refugees. It's an interesting one, this. I mean, 2.5 million refugees, these mega mansions won't cover it, but at the same time, it's a pretty decent statement of intent.
Yeah, so this is Michael Gove, our Levelling Up Secretary, who's had this fab idea to seize the homes of these multi-million-pound oligarchs who have homes, as we know, all over London and the southeast, huge, great big mansions. Apparently, he's been arguing passionately in Cabinet for this to happen, but many senior Tories and many people in the Treasury and the Foreign Office are saying this is completely legally unworkable. And, you know, frankly, I think it's silly. I think it's preposterous, because I think we need to be focusing on actually serious and compassionate proposals for helping people come to this country, rather than these sort of pie-in-the-sky ideas about seizing their mansions. Legally, it's not workable, Neil. It's not going to happen.
I mean, part of the problem, of course, is that we don't know who owns the things, given that the government still hasn't moved forward in the promise it made a couple of years ago to stop overseas companies being able to own properties, you know, places like the British Virgin Islands. And Pete, let's go to your story, though, on page 7 of the Sunday Mirror. These poor multimillionaire footballers at Chelsea, they must be really struggling at the moment.
I love this story. It's fantastic. They're giving Chelsea £20,000 limits for away games because of the sanctions on Abramovich. And what I love is they're saying to the players, sorry, guys, it's now budget hotels, budget flights, no more private flights, no more five-star hotels. And what I love about it is this might bring us back to football. Come on, lads, back to the real world, meet real people and start playing football like the old days.
Pete was about that far away from saying jumpers for goalposts a second ago. So let's move on, Emma, to your story instead. In the Times, this one, and it's glossy magazines are pivoting to war somehow. Explain this one to me.
They're pivoting towards, so this is magazines like Elle and Vogue and Marie Claire in Ukraine. They've been offering their readers tips on giving birth in a war zone, how not to damage your fake nails when you're handling a weapon, eating healthily despite, you know, mass shortages in all the supermarkets. So they're sort of pivoting to war in that they're giving lifestyle and beauty tips to their readers during this time of crisis. I'm not sure whether I think this is completely crazy or actually, you know, fair enough. They need to publish their magazine. They need to reflect what readers are going through.
Yeah, it's interesting because, you know, every organisation, every corporate entity is now having to take a position on Ukraine. So why not Marie Claire or Graziana? Pete, let's go to your story in the Sunday Mirror, page 16 this time. I'm struggling with this one. The Prime Minister rolling back on the ban on big game hunting.
Yeah, I'm struggling with this as well. I'm glad you said that, because it is terrible. They say that they put it to one side now because of the Ukraine war. That I understand. But don't dismiss this. But slaughtering of these beautiful animals makes me so angry. And for people to bring trophies back, like lions' heads and zebra skins, is dreadful. So fine, put it to one side, but don't dismiss it. Do not dismiss it. We've got to save the world. And these beautiful animals have done nothing. How these people have these monstrous trophies in their house, I will never, ever understand as long as I live on this earth.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Pete, the government spokesman saying that the government is committed to strengthening animal welfare standards. Well, we'll wait and see. Emma, take us to your story in the Express, and it's, what's it about? The Queen.
Slightly more joyful story on which to end. This is how the UK is planning to mark the Queen's Jubilee, but not only the UK, across the US and Canada too. There are all sorts of... There's going to be obviously our extra bank holiday in the first weekend in June, and then there are going to be street parties. There's going to be miniature trooping of the colours with sort of baby toy soldiers and things like that. And then on an official level, there's going to be the Queen's birthday parade. There's a Jubilee pageant, a platinum Jubilee pageant. Obviously the RAF flypasts and a party at the palace. So it is something to look forward to. Obviously the Queen hasn't been well, and we've had, you know, terrible, terrible news for for months now. But this is something I think that should hopefully lift the country in the start of June as we come into summer.
Indeed. And Pete, your final story, you can tell I've just seen what it is. Tell us, you're talking about crufts, are you? Or is it just doggies getting pampered? It looks good anyway. It's a good picture story.
It's Crufts is back, which is great because there's millions of dog owners. But we've got some wild and wonderful-looking dogs. These ones with lined manes. I'd like dogs to start looking like dogs again. Please, let's have proper dogs. And the best part of watching Crufts is when the dogs don't perform. Just look at the owners' faces with the stubborn little dogs. I love this story to lighten Sunday morning.
Thank you both for your contributions to today's edition of When This Were All Fields. Pete, Emma, lovely to have you both on the programme this morning. Great contributions as always. We'll see you very, very soon. But you can stay exactly where you are. After the break, the latest from Ukraine as Russian forces edge ever closer to Kiev.